states were going to take over control of the courts. So we are looking now in developing final decisions as to the size, scope, timing, and location. Now, as you read in the paper, the courts are going to have a furlough 1 day a week. And that issue is under review by the Superior Court, and they have committed to work with the county to minimize those efforts. And again, our presiding judge has been up front with that and assisting us with that issue. The construction of the new fire stations in Santa Clarita Valley. We had 1 new permanent station, 2 temporary stations, and by the year 2011, we're going to have 5 new stations open. The department is enforcing very high fire hazard severity zone requirements for new construction, which will include fuel modification plans, improved building standards, and non-combustible roofs. And let me say, those of you who heard me speak before, we have many fires out here. Unlike our cities to the south, San Diego, Orange County, they have not prepared for those fires. So when there's a fire, they don't have the helicopters and the fire support to go up on the ground and in the air to put out those fires. So they lost homes, they lost lives. Here, we are in the air and on the ground when those fires hit. And as a result, some of you can personally testify as to what happened. Your home was saved, your life was saved. We have 6 Bell 412 helicopters, water dropping capacities of 360 gallons. We have 3 Firehawk helicopters that have a water dropping capacity of 1,000 gallons. And we have 2 Super Supers that we contract for that have a water dropping capacity of 14,000 gallons. And these aircraft will be arriving in Los Angeles County on September 1st. We have 1 Erickson S-64 airborne air crane tanker water dropping capacity of 2,200 gallons, and this will be arriving on August 1st. So we contract during those fire seasons to be prepared. San Diego, Orange County, they call the state, and they say we need the helicopter, we need the air support now to put out the fire. But by the time they get the call and the plane goes in the air, the wind changes, and then you can't drop. Where the LA County is up immediately and able to take advantage when the wind is not blowing to do as much dropping of those waters to help the people. And they do an incredible job, and and our sheriffs is there on the field with the Office of Public Safety to help with the traffic and helping the people evacuate, and animal control is there to help with those animals that have been victimized by that. On the county general plan, all cities and counties are required to adopt a general plan with 7 required elements. And we may adopt optional elements as well. Our LAEDC and the county regional planning are now working jointly to create language for an economic element within the framework of One Valley, One Vision. Our One Valley, One Vision actually will involve 2 plans, one for the county of Los Angeles and one for the city of Santa Clarita. And our regional planning commission will have that before them in October. The Regional Planning Commission meetings, which will be held in the Santa Clarita Valley, is a culmination of our public outreach effort that has involved. What I do. You know what? That was Kenny Hahn. He's the longest service. We love Kenny. I used to sit next to Kenny. I'm sorry about that, Kenny. Kenny will be the longest one, but we could be the second one. But he can go back and rest now. And he also loved the fire department. That was one of his prime departments. He was very pleased to be at the forefront of that, and paramedic service and all. So this will be an outreach that has involved more than 15 community meetings, and that will come before the Board of Supervisors for approval in early 2010. Our community standards districts, we have supported community standard districts in Acton, Aguadoce, Castaic, and various other communities. And our CSDs, which they're called, serve to protect ridge lines, minimize grading, and have served as blueprints for other parts of the county, including now Malibu and Topanga, have copied our ridge line protections. The proposed CSD for the San Francisco Canyon will be considered in July, and that will also protect ridge lines, preserve the equestrian and rural character, and promote development of 2 or more acre-sized lots. In mid-2010, we will initiate a CSD for the Sierra Highway Corridor in Canyon Country. Now, the West Side self-determination, 2.5 years ago, I had allocated $25,000 for the Castaic and West Ranch Town Councils to hire a consultant for the preparation of the initial feasibility analysis. The analysis of expenditures and revenues in the unincorporated areas of the west side of the I-5 and Tesoro community. This is going to provide the residents there those facts and figures to make a determination whether they want to be unincorporated, become a city, or becoming part of the Santa Clarita city. The community meetings will be held in June to present the report. Questions will be answered at that time to clarify any information or questions that the public may have. And the information about the June meeting will be on your table. In November, there's a non-binding advisory vote in November, which will ask residents to determine whether they want to form their own city, annex to the city of Santa Clarita, or remain unincorporated. The Valencia Commerce Center Hasley Canyon North Bluff annexation. The county has established several policies for annexations and spheres of influence amendments. And we had revised those policies in January 2008. They are applied countywide to all proposed annexations, not just to those in Santa Clarita. They, in particular, seem relevant to the Hasley Hills Commerce Center annexation request. One of those policies is to oppose annexations that carve up an unincorporated community that has a strong sense of identity. And the second one is to oppose annexations of commercial or industrial areas that have a significant negative impact on the county's provision of services, unless the annexing city provides financial or other mitigations satisfactory to the county. The cost to the county of detaching revenue-generating areas to cities is being raised with the city of Santa Clarita on several annexation requests, not just the Hasley Canyon Commerce Center annexation. And as more information about the annexation becomes available, they will be considered in light of those two policies, as well as the consideration of the larger cityhood and annexation studies currently being prepared for the West Side communities. Now, I've received a lot of mail on the next issue dealing with sewer service fees. Now, many of you don't know who the Los Angeles County Regional Water Quality Control Board, but that's a regulatory board appointed by the governor and the state legislature. They have mandated a fee increase of $32 a month. It's not uncommon for the regional board to impose unreasonable fees. And that is exactly what happened in the actions relative to the removal of chlorides. The Water Quality Control Board has mandated a $250 million project, which is above and beyond the removal of those water softeners. And again, I agree with you, it's unreasonable, but it's being mandated by the Los Angeles Regional Water Quality Board. And I would encourage you to tell the governor that this is agency is kind of out of control. They need to be more involved with the communities when they deal with these issues. Relative to Castaic High School, I do support a new high school for the Castaic area, but legally the county can only compel developers to pay the mandated fees. And I'm very pleased that we've been able to work in the past with Dr. Smythe, and we've been able to have our developers go above the state mandated fees when we have had projects here, and that was a good public-private partnership. The county has encouraged developers to negotiate above and beyond school fee agreements with local school districts, and I would state that as agencies in the state of California, schools are exempt from local zoning. Typically, the only regulatory